Okay, so here we have a short guide on how I draw the movie version of Sonic characters. This will be a quick guide, so if you want to see a more detailed version, please check out the video on my YouTube channel. Start with your sketch layer, of course, and open a new layer. Then, using a darker colour, go over the sketch and fill it in with the paint tool. Then, we'll make a new layer and enable alpha clipping, which will only allow us to draw within the confines of Sonic's head in this case. Then select the airbrush and use a bright colour. Then, on your new alpha layer, go over the base layer with the airbrush. Feel free to make things such as the ears and eyebrows more noticeable. Then, we'll make a new layer and once again enable alpha clipping. Now you're going to want to change the brush, and this will be used for the fur. Now, in my original guide, I used a flat watercolour mix too, and you can still use that by all means, but I personally now prefer to use a flat watercolour opaque brush instead. Now we're going to select a bright colour and change the size and opacity down slightly. The size of the brush will of course depend on the size of the canvas, but if it looks something like this as you can see on the screen, then it should be fine. Now on a new layer, we'll just add small strokes, and honestly that's all that needs to be done when it comes to making fur. Try to make it flow seamlessly. You don't want to add strokes with no sense of direction, as it's not going to look that appealing when it's done. Also, make sure you're adjusting the colour ever so slightly when adding strokes. Even though I'm just changing the colour ever so slightly, it makes the fur pop out a lot more. Another rule of thumb I tend to use is that I'll make the fur closer to the top of the head a light blue, and then the fur that's closer to the bottom a darker shade of blue. But of course that really depends on the type of lighting you're going for. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. With this, feel free to fill in the finer details, like adding some extra smaller strokes to make the fur more detailed. The same process will be applied to the muzzles, the ears and the body, which I won't be going over in this short, but if you'd like to see me go over those, feel free to watch the full guide that's on my channel. Yeah, hopefully this guide helps, and remember, practice makes perfect, and if you have any questions about this guide, let me know and I'll try and answer as many questions as I can.